Here's something I never expected to do. We're going to go hang at Dan Tack's house in WildStar. I'm Andrew Reiner, everyone. Dan Tack, how you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
Good. You've been playing the hell out of this game. You told me today that you have played more of this than you should have for your job.
Absolutely.
You should never tell your boss that.
I shouldn't, but
but you did.
Yeah, this is an act. I'm incredibly impressed with this game so far, and while it can be very dangerous to say that about an MMO without experiencing endgame, I'd like to say with the caveat that we don't know what that's like yet, the gameplay so far has been spectacular.
And usually Test Chamber just has 2 people, but today we're adding a third. We have intern Harry Mackin.
Hey guys.
How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm really excited to see this game. I've been looking forward to it for a while.
It is very colorful, very Dr. Seuss-esque in its color scheme so far. And Dan's just chopping down nature.
We are currently on my plot, so I've got these different nodes that I can set up.
Well, take us inside, man. Let's see your digs.
We're going to go inside in a minute. Hey,
come on! I want to see the house!
I'm early level, man. I'm not going to have anything impressive.
I suggested that we did profession grinding.
Is that it? That's your house?
No, this is my thicket, okay?
Your tent?
My thicket gives plants trees and stuff that I can cut down, which I was doing. This is my my brewery, sort of.
All right, Dan.
So,
you're making wine.
Yeah, you want to make some right now?
Yeah, just get in there.
Who are the crab robots that are following you?
Now see the little timer that's appeared on the top right?
You're just messing with it. You don't have to do this, right?
No, I do. This is a mini game. And you don't have to do this, but I wanted to create this place.
How long can you do this?
I have 50 seconds left to complete this mission.
And what does this do for you?
We'll see if I can complete it, which I don't think I'm going slow this time, so maybe I won't.
Did you just mess it up by jumping to the side?
No, gotta get the bucket.
Oh,
This is a multi-part thing. And I've never... these keyboard controls.
Dan was incredibly impressed with this game.
He's making wine. Like
That's
actually
awesome.
making beverages. And he's jamming on the keyboard to do that action there. We're all just sitting here. Harry and I are just sitting here with our mouths agape.
Yeah,
all right, I completed it. So this is what happens. So I can get to pick one of these things, and it'll try to roll for it. It's random, and I can do this thing all the time. So this thing will reset in an hour or whatever.
What's the best item here? What are we looking at?
I'm going to go for this 4-poster bed.
Okay.
It's a purple decor item.
It's purple, so is that like a WoW thing?
It is.
Rarity? Okay.
Yeah, you can sync up with that. Oh, I didn't get... Oh, what am I going to get?
Oh!
Oh, I got it. We're going to go set this up.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
It is. I wanted that.
Let's get in your house. Let's see
We're
it.
going to go inside now. So it's a spaceship house.
Whoa, Futurama. Awesome. Go make a delivery.
It's pretty small, but believe me, there's so much customization you can do that you just require some levels and stuff. See, it's pretty
dive.
Right
you already have a bed.
It is a dive, yes. I'm low level, man.
And this is one of the big parts of the game, right? Is that there's a lot of customization.
It's not even a big part of the game. It's very optional, but it's awesome, yeah.
Cool.
You're calling this awesome? Your little house here?
I think the neon beer sign's the highlight so far.
Yeah, we've got that.
So did the bed just auto-populate there?
The bed went to my inventory, and I'm going to put it in my crate now, and now I can access it. So we're going to place it right now.
So that's like rare bed.
Whoa. It's a rare bed, yeah.
Way nicer than your old bed.
Whoa! It's like a king size, dude.
Yeah, we're going to... So we can play with this and set it up and move it around and change the size, even rotate it, and...
Wow.
I don't know where I want to put it. I'm just going to leave it here for now, because we've got other stuff to do.
Why'd your character transform all of a sudden?
I used my ability by accident.
Oh, okay.
It's my 1 minute cooldown.
I thought she was just so excited about the new bed that she turned into a robot.
Yeah.
Wait, let's take a look at this. So you got like a nerdy robot head on the front that's totally like Star Wars fan. And then you have like the weird horns on there, which is like cowboy. And then, the skins and then the lovemaking pillow.
There's cameras on this bed.
I don't know how I feel about those cameros.
I think it's just lights. Oh, no, there is a camera.
No, that's definitely a camera.
And yeah, that is showing exactly what's happening on the bed.
This is cool.
Hey, look at your socks. Okay, enough bed. Let's go play the game.
All right, that sounds good. So we're level 18 now, so we're still pretty early on.
Talk to me about leveling.
It seems to be a little slower than people can expect from MMOs right now, but that could just be because that I'm spending tons of time on housing and trade skills. So there's that. So we have the options to do some kind of group stuff right now. We'll queue up for one, and then we'll go out in the world and see what happens.
But that's a good thing, right? That you're getting distracted and kind of pulled away.
It's a great thing that I really didn't expect to happen. Usually when I go into an MMO, I just try to get to end level as fast as possible.
Well, that's generally kind of what you're aiming for.
But here, I've been enjoying the journey a lot more. So typical kind of structure here. Queue up for something. I don't think we're gonna get a match real quick. We'll get put in. We can always PvP, or we can do quests, or we can do all kinds of stuff. We're gonna
go shoot something. That gun looks awesome.
It does. Let's go out in the world for just a moment.
So is PvP a big part of this?
It can be. It's all about choosing your path, and like you can PvP none or a ton. It's up to you. You can level up solely through PvP if that's your desire.
Wow. Okay.
And you can get rewards that way too. So you don't have to do any traditional questing.
They doing anything different with combat?
Yeah. The combat is very active compared to other games.
Oh, whoa. Looks like you gotta dodge. How'd you dodge like that?
You have to dodge. You have to use mobility things. You're going to be always watching for red telegraphs. And I'm honestly a little bit slower on the setup. So you have a rack of 1 to 8 abilities, plus other moves at any given time that you can change, and I'll show you that in a second.
Was that dodge on the rack?
No, the dodge you always have.
No matter what you're playing as?
Yep.
Okay.
And you get 2 of them, they queue up and they fill up. If you look on the lower right next to my R power, you'll see a little bar there that fills up, and this is 1 or 2. Depending, and I consume those dashes when I use an active dodge.
Looks like you're using some kind of shotgun?
I use a heavy gun, yes.
Yep.
That's the engineer weapon.
Interesting.
So I had different moves that hit different ranges, right? So here's the move thing. Let's try not to die for a second. I'm in an active area, though, so probably not the best place to show that off.
Don't die.
So
Whoa, look at that guy.
These damage numbers up on screen, are these the default, or did you add these?
No, those are the default.
Okay.
We're using all defaults right now and getting killed.
But there is some sort of customization in terms of your HUD that you could...
Yeah, this is an add-on compliant game, so you can
Sure.
you can modify things to your heart's content, assuming you have the mods.
And I know it's tough to talk and play.
It is,
Dan.
it is, but I'm gonna...
Any chance you could just, as you're kind of doing stuff, just tell us exactly what
Yeah, right now I'm just
power
shooting
you're
stuff. Yeah. I use a combination of the buttons on my bar right now, and I'm going to show you in a second how to customize your bar.
Whoa!
was a
Go ride a
large
lizard!
raptor.
Trying to get out of the heat of things right here. So here's sort of like a little quest hub, which anyone who plays MMO should be familiar with. You get quests here, and since I'm a settler, I can actually create buff things for teammates to use.
You said you're a settler?
Yes, that's a secondary component of this game. After class is choosing a path. So you can be a soldier if you like to really kill things.
Hold on here. Look at some of these characters. Who is that little gremlin guy?
Oh, which the Chua? Yeah. That's one of the races of...
Can you play as that?
yes, you can.
Huh.
Okay, so there are playable races. What are they?
Give me the facts.
There are 8 playable races, 4 for each faction.
A first step.
It's a faction-based game, so
This is not over.
one faction against the other. Yeah. Let me try to clear up some of this clutter, and I'm going to open up my talent.
Yeah, let's take a look at... So you have cool aliens and you pick the humans.
So this is how, like, this loadout right here is what's on my bar, right? And you can change this at any time to change your strategy up. Let's say I'm not getting in range to be able to hit my mortar strike. It's a more close kind of combat thing, and the enemies are always going to be right on top of me. So I'm going to probably want something like electrocute, and bam. I've now completely changed my bottom bar and my loadout.
So you can respec at any time.
At any time for
essentially.
free.
That's awesome.
Wow, that is awesome.
So whatever you're doing, whether it's PvP or PvE, you've got options.
I want to get into your mind a little bit here,
Sure.
Dan Tack. What do you pick when? What are you thinking when you pick your characters? Are you looking for a specific class? Or are you more interested in the cosmetics?
I'm always interested in cosmetics, so even though I found the melee in this game really compelling, I love to go for the big guns. That's just I find myself gravitating toward gun ranged classes everywhere I go. Despite the melee in this game being fantastic, like you really feel like you're in there smashing stuff.
And what are some of the melee-based classes?
You have a Stalker, which is sort of a rogue, and a Warrior, which is a warrior.
That lizard's awesome. Go find it.
It looks like
There he
there's
is,
some,
over there.
Guy in the mount?
there's some
That's
mounts
so
in this
cool.
game too. It
Sure.
looks like, yeah.
There's mounts. There's actually a hamster wheel mount that this faction gets. I don't know if I'll see anybody
I
else.
saw
think we
one
saw one
earlier.
earlier. Yeah, It was
There he
pretty
is.
Great.
Yeah, there's one right there. It's a very popular mount. Look at him go. Yeah. All right, so let's. We're not getting into adventure right now because we picked DPS, and we all know they're low priority. So let's.
And these are pets or are these timed weapons?
The little crab thing.
Those are pets, so they're taking up my 5 and 6 slot right now.
Okay.
But unlike other games, they have an active functionality as well. They're not just sort of a DPS ad. Like if I need a taunt in front of me, I click this one and the pet will go to it. This one releases a rocket barrage for my artillery bot. And the engineer has 4 different bots they can select from and use 2 at any time.
And it seems like the terrain has a lot of verticality to it. Do they kind of force you into jumping across gaps and stuff like that?
There are jumping puzzles and stuff like that if you want to do them.
So they're not ever like primary.
I haven't
like,
met a mandatory
destinations?
one yet, but
There are a lot of mountains.
again, I have only been to a couple zones so far, so I'm not 100% sure.
Play more.
We just PvP. I plan to. I got to get to endgame so I can review this. But yeah, it's been incredible so far. It just the combat just feels so like much more alive. I guess it's not just you can't just stand there and click things. You'll get killed so fast.
It looks like you've got some kind of double jump, or was that a wall run?
Oh, you have a double jump.
Okay, that sounds handy.
So we're gonna go PvP. I'm
Good
sure
luck.
I'm gonna get destroyed since this keyboard setup is not mine. So I'm making excuses already.
Yep, already got the excuses.
And Dan, is it free to play? How is it
This
set
is
up?
a box plus sub model.
Okay. Oh,
that's-
really?
And that is
Submodel too. I did not know that.
I know, and that's really like that's unusual and a little bold these days.
And Bethesda just did that as well with
Elder Scrolls,
Elder
yeah.
Scrolls, yeah. Huh.
And it's monthly, correct?
This is
So
a monthly
you're,
sub game,
yeah.
yes. However, sort of like Eve, you can accumulate enough in-game currency to pay for your month in a certain
That's
way.
right.
Take a look at that guy. That guy looks sweet.
He's a warrior.
Let's see.
looks
Give him.
pretty cool.
Can you get in front of him?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm liking that sword a lot.
That's sweet looking.
Yeah, so why didn't I roll a warrior, right? He looks a lot cooler than me.
Well,
don't you
your
think?
character's kind of cool.
You got
too,
the
I
cool
guess.
gun though. Turn around.
little
Can,
hair
can we see
thing.
your?
I've got robots.
Can we see your face? That's pretty sweet.
The visor's awesome. Or something. So which faction are you?
I am the Dominion, so we're sort of the Tiltarian evil guys.
So okay.
we believe the planet belongs to us. So,
And the other
and
faction.
the Exiles are kind of the scrappy traditional action hero,
Their alliance.
So
Yeah.
so
I
there's
mean,
no
in
gray
essence,
area
yes.
here. There's a good and evil faction. It sounds like.
Some people might argue that, but I just say, yeah, good and evil. Let's cut it down to what it is.
What is happening right now? You got polygons.
We are about to
like,
go in
pumping off
5
your body.
seconds. Okay, so the green stuff, you want to stand in green stuff, and you want to stand outside of red stuff. The greens are usually healing and buffs.
Is another player doing that right
Yes,
now? Or is, okay.
probably a medic.
And that's your healing and buff class.
But there's other classes can take on healing roles too. In fact, every class has DPS set sort of as like the default, and then you can pick either tanking or healing based on the class.
Is there fall damage?
So every
there?
class can tank or heal.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, and every class has a PvP option as well.
Yes.
So
That's
no matter
absolutely
what you choose, you can play how you want.
right. That's right.
Okay, cool.
Oh, this looks insane.
It is.
Yeah, there's a lot happening right
I
now.
can't even fathom it right now. I have much better.
Now, Dan, we need you to talk about what's happening in the game.
I cannot right now. Trying for we need a team win here.
Yeah, so you're kind of hanging back.
Trying to, yes, but the engineer has like heavy armor, so I can take a few hits as well as dish it out. My bots are probably dead or in the middle of the combat. I'm not sure. So my bots will just sort of latch on to whoever.
And your raid team is 10. Is that the max?
For this map, yes. This is a 10v10 capture the flag style map.
Okay, but there are other maps with
There
other
are.
limits.
Yes.
So what's that electricity thing you're using right now? That's sort of your main weapon as of
That's
now.
my secondary, so I'm charging up my volatility meter, which is what you see at the bottom screen.
Okay.
And once I get enough of that, I can start unleashing the electrical blast, which is a more sustained DPS. Normally, I like the mortar strike, but it can be really hard to land on players depending on the situation.
Yeah, they're probably too fast.
Well, you kind of prep for that or stun them beforehand.
And Dan, you're going to plan to do some streaming of this at some point, right?
Yeah,
So
I actually
if the
streamed
community wants to check out you playing. Yeah, you started this weekend,
I
right?
streamed it this weekend for a little bit, but we got kicked off on the first server I rolled on.
Okay, we got new tech for you.
What is happening to you right
I'm
now?
being hurt.
Run,
They're
Dan!
like swords falling from the sky.
Yeah, it's see, moves are different. Like some of these are not like charge up before they hit. They're not like casting. They're like sustained. So you see them as sort of like red and filled out all the time. Some of them you're just not going to dodge. And this is another thing. You got to dodge through the stun by holding down a key. It gets crazy.
It's even just hard to tell who you're going against, like
Yeah.
what class or what character you're going
It's
against.
a lot easier than it looks right here. This is like, I'm bewildered right now, but if you're in the zone, you can pretty much tell what's going on.
It feels like it would probably be kind of hard to talk and especially explain things. while you're
It
doing
is.
it. Yeah.
This is a game that requires attention, and some of that comes out of that is the engagement level. Like, this is not a game where you fall asleep while you're fighting stuff.
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't.
like you're paying attention or you're dead in seconds. And honestly, that's a pretty refreshing change. A lot of MMOs are just click there and wait for the thing to die.
Yeah. So can you always see the AOE's that your
Yes.
enemies are doing in all
Yes, you can.
situations?
Yes.
That sounds nice.
The regular attacks you'll have to mitigate with healing or tanking. But
Okay.
all the big stuff, the stuff you have to dodge and mitigate, that's telegraphed.
So they can see your field of
they
effect.
can, yes.
Okay.
They can see exactly what's going on.
And we'll let Dan focus on this a little bit, Harry. It sounds like you play some MMOs. What experience you got?
Well, I played a lot of WoW back in the days of Burning Crusade. I kind of left off after Wrath came out because I hit 70 the day before Wrath came out, and so I didn't get to do any of the fun stuff that I wanted to do. I recently jumped back in this summer with a couple of friends just to quest and get ready for Warlords, which I might be hopping into when it comes out here post-August. I think is when it's scheduled to come out in September. But this looks pretty cool too, actually. So I might try to check this out. Dan, do you know what the subscription monthly cost is?
I honestly don't have any idea
Okay.
right now. I think like it's 15.
Yeah, it sounds
I mean, that's the standard, right?
right.
I wish you could have done the PvE because this is cool, but this is just like, this is a bunch of dudes just tearing into each other.
Lots of explosions. What are those yellow things floating up into the sky?
The PvE is actually really awesome, and I was hoping we got to do some of that, but the queue would probably be like 10 minutes for a DPS.
Are the system requirements pretty crazy?
I actually, to be honest with you, I don't have any idea. I ran it on 2 computers over the weekend. It ran fine on both. One's 2 years old. It couldn't do it on high settings, but it was still running smooth.
Sure, it looks like the frame rate would be kind of demanding.
Yeah, I can
Just
see
from
stuff like
looking at
this. This.
Yeah,
I can
we're
see
running
this
it on the
difference.
highest setting here right now.
We are.
It looks great.
Like this is. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's just insanity. Look at that.
Everybody just got stunned and then taunted. What happened there?
That's exactly what just happened there.
It's just
I think you guys are winning.
There's just like these 2 medics sitting in the middle there. And it's just like at this level you can like out heal the damage. So
Sure.
it's like.
Yeah, it looks like you're winning. There are more green bars in the explosion.
Yeah, but they're
29 to
they're
29,
They're
right?
killing us.
But what are we?
They
Are those
are.
levels?
All of our team is just sitting here killing guys, and they've got 3 flag caps already.
Oh, okay. That's what we're looking at.
Classic.
Yeah, this is kind of standard, par for the course at this level of PvP. But there are like war plots, which are the end game, big guild v guild PvP, which I can't wait for. And honestly, the PvE in this game is just really, really good.
Yeah, there are plenty of instances and sort of dungeoning that you can do. in
Right, so
groups, right?
it's tiered a little differently than other MMOs. So your standard adventure, your standard dungeon, I guess, would be called an adventure. So it's not called a dungeon. The dungeon is more hardcore. The dungeon is gonna wreck people.
Go, 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 go.
Okay.
We're going. Is
Is that going to give you a flag?
Yeah, it is. That's the flag.
It's a mask.
Yes.
So yeah, that is one of the
So
the
it's
sort of
it's tiered into adventure, which is like I'm not going to say casual, but it's the accessible dungeon that everybody can do. And then dungeons are kind of like honestly for core players. And
Okay.
then the raids are for even crazier players.
Oh, so there is like I was gonna say it sounds like the adventures are dungeons or instances, and then dungeons are raids. But there's another level beyond dungeons,
Right.
Called
Because
raid.
dungeons are 5 people and the raids are 20 or 40 men
Okay.
right now. So they're
Oh wow, 40
they're
men.
an extremely dedicated old school raid in terms of numbers at least.
and probably
someone on
insane
your tail.
difficulty.
I've heard the difficulty level is obscene. Yes.
But that was sort of one of the selling points in this game, right? Is
Absolutely.
that it's for a little bit more.
Well, if you're looking for that core experience, it's here for you.
Sure.
Is what's been said.
But it looks like there's plenty for sort of more, not casual necessarily, but less
Absolutely,
intense
like
players to
there
enjoy.
will be 5-man challenging dungeons, and of course, gotta get that house loot from those dungeons.
And Dan, how is the? Do they have any kind of fiction, or they just kind of throw you in and?
No, there's actually a good amount of lore in this game. I can't say that I'm ever one to get into the lore of games, but I will say
I know
that
it's popular, like in WoW and stuff like that
Yeah.
for sure.
I
Does it
will
have that kind of potential here?
I
or-
will say that the style is very enjoyable. It's very flavorful, very like almost slapstick comedy. Very grim undertones though, so it's pretty pretty
okay.
sweet. It's all like funny and happy and colorful, but there's some serious stuff going on.
Get that guy. He's running right past you.
I'm trying to talk.
Sorry.
Anything else to note, Dan? And then we'll let you get back to this raid here?
Like I said, I think the PvE what we're doing right now is not actually all that exciting, just because this match didn't turn out very well.
It looks pretty exciting.
No, it is.
this looks
Not
awesome.
as a whole. I'm saying this match.
Okay.
Because you're
match.
losing?
I don't know. They're usually a lot different than this.
Because you're winning?
Yeah. Why not? No. Just in terms of like the scope of your ability. So like. So blind in this game is really clever because you really can't see the
Oh my
telegraphs.
It is
goodness.
an actual
Yeah.
blind.
Yeah. It's so it's kind of hilarious. But like the correct selection of your moves. See, my team's not going to care if we're already dead. So I use this move, right, which shoots me back, and I can combine that with a move that shoots like an AoE attack right here, right. So it's perfect positioning to set up one of my other attacks, and you can play around with combos like that.
And it's a pretty deep base in terms of
absolutely.
combos. Cool.
Because while you may only have X moves to pick from, they can all be modified in different ways to suit your playstyle.
And what's the cap?
Cap is level 50.
So, and you're level 29 now?
I am no. I've been boosted to 29 for
Yeah, that's what I was wondering what those numbers were. Everybody's 29.
I'm level 18.
Okay, but you've still got plenty of combos to play around with.
Oh yeah.
Plenty
As
to
soon as
do.
you get to I'd say at 14 you have multiple templates that you can play with.
Okay, cool. So you don't need to wait until end.
No,
game
you
to
start
do a
off
lot
kind of
that.
forced into a really simple thing. Like every class starts off with
Ouch.
a builder, a finisher, and a stun, pretty much. Every class starts with those 3 core things. And then as you build out, you'll be able to select more options that are more advanced and more rewarding, frankly. Like your moves will do more damage, but you'll have to be able to position yourself correctly, or maybe stand still while you do something, which is a huge liability, you know.
So as you
There's
pointed out,
lots of options.
you're still reviewing the game. What's the early word on it? Should people investigate this? Should they get into it?
I would say, first impressions only here. Obviously, no in-game experience, but absolutely, if you like MMOs, this game is fantastic. Absolutely, do not pass it up.
Yeah, it looks really fun from what little I've seen here.
And it's developed by Carbine Studios and is published by NC Soft. And as Dan pointed out, it's out now.
It's out today.
And
Yep.
yeah, you can jump in right now after probably a significant load of some kind, and then
That's
install,
correct.
and
Yes.
and away you go. So thank you, Dan, for showing us this, and thanks for inviting us into your house. That was
Hey,
that was
absolutely.
very nice of you.
Let's go back there.
It's a little terrifying, creepy metal shell,
Yeah, I don't like.
Hey, I
this
just unlocked
X-Bed,
that,
but-
okay? That gives me an XP bonus.
and then thank you, Harry, for joining us
Yeah,
on this
thanks,
episode
guys.
of Test
Looks
Chamber.
great.
As always, we'll try to cover all the new releases coming out. We'll see you next time.